I said, hey, we've got a real opportunity here. We can sit here and work this 9 to 5, until we just get worked into the ground and probably not have anything to show at the end of it. Or we can take a leap and see what we can do with this new opportunity.
Welcome to Access Granted, a peek inside the real-life stories of physical security professionals. Now, here are your hosts, Justin, John, Ryan, and Brandon.
Welcome back to another episode of Access Granted. We are doing things a little bit differently today. You're going to actually be able to see our ugly mugs. I'm here with Justin, Ryan, John, doing some telecommunications with Wayne Winton. I knew I was going to mess that up. Sorry, Wayne. Wayne Winton with ALOA and Tri-County Locksmith. Wayne, you're the new president of ALOA. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yes, we were just elected this year, and I wanted to throw my hat in the ring there and just see what we could bring to this industry to try and bring it up to speed. I know that I've gone to quite a few ALOA meetings, and I hear quite a few things in the chat rooms, and it just seemed like people really wanted this association to kind of catch up, and it seems like our industry is always the caboose on the train. You know, you've got HVAC guys and plumber guys and all these different other industries, and we always tend to be the caboose on that bus all the way in the back, trying to catch up. And I thought I could bring a lot of those tools and features to the association to bring it back to the people, to recreate and reestablish that trust that people had in the association, to bring more membership back and help the community.
Well, I'll be candid with you, Wayne. We voted for you.
So before you became the president of ALOA, you were just, you had your own locksmith shop and everything. How did you get into locksmithing in general?
So it was like the end of the 2008, 2009 recession hitting in 2012. Yeah. Basically, there wasn't any more construction jobs. I was losing, I got laid off, and this opportunity came up. Locksmith business for sale, came with training from the owner, came with van, client list, all of that fun stuff. And I decided, hey, I don't want to do this again. If they're going to lay me off now, it's going to happen again in the future. And I'd like to take a little more control over my life and my financial future. And owning your own business allows you to do that. And so I wanted to take the leap and jumped into it and just haven't looked back. I mean, I had to jump both feet in and sink or swim. And obviously we're swimming and I'm still paddling.
Yeah. There's a lot to learn there. That had to have been hard.
Well, I was going to say, you're a married man, it looks like. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
family at home.
So the whole family and everything, how did they feel about this new transition that you decided to take?
I said, hey, we've got a real opportunity here. We can sit here and work this 9 to 5, until we just get worked into the ground and probably not have anything to show at the end of it. Or we can take a leap and see what we can do with this new opportunity. And I've tried to take every opportunity and maximize it. We've done over 10x the business that the original owner used to do. We've grown massively. We're the number one. I mean, we're here. You'd have to really try to avoid finding me and my company in this area because of all the social media presence that we have, because of the, just joining the chambers and local BNI meetings and just being everywhere. I am absolutely omnipresent in this area. And I've learned those marketing tips, and I wanted to bring that to the association as well and show them how I did that so that they can use those same tools to help bring the association to where it needs to be. But the family coming up here, hey, we're going for a ride and hopefully it works out really well. I mean, that's all I could say. Just gave it everything I had.
And just to give you a little more advertising, where are you out of, if you want to tell me?
We're out of Glenwood Springs, Colorado, kind of service the Aspen, Colorado area, really high-end, affluent.
Yeah, nice. No, maybe this is a question you can answer or not. When purchasing that from the older generation, and I find that we've tried to dive into purchasing other locksmiths also. Did that guy find that his little slice of home to be gold? Like, was that like a hard thing to justify? Because I know when we've tried to purchase other locksmiths, and they all seem to think that what they have is like is their own little slice of a dragon horde, and that it's worth everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to realize by the time that the people now are starting to retire, they had a completely different mindset when they started their business in the 80s or early 90s. That was when you had to plan a year in advance because you needed phone book advertising like that. When I took over in 2012, that's really what happened is if you wanted to move, you didn't worry about a Google listing. You worried about, I need to get in front of everybody in the phone book, and I need to have a name that shows up at the top, and I need to get a double truck ad or a single page ad. I need to be very present in the phone books. And when they thought of their business, they thought, I'm going to build a clientele list. I'm going to build rapport. I'm going to have all this goodwill. And what's happened over the years is that goodwill has diminished. The value's diminished to practically nothing. And I've even run into that situation where, there was another business that came up for sale and they wanted way too much for it. And I knew what my options were. My options were, you're going to hire, somebody's going to buy your business that doesn't know what they're doing, most likely, and you're going to train them, and they're going to fail a lot because they're learning, they're trying to catch up, and I'm going to absorb that business anyways. Why would I pay $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 for that business when I'm going to absorb it anyways? It doesn't make any sense.
Right now, geographically, where we're at, we own the market for the most part, and so that for us to grow, we have to continually expand geographically. So we've looked at other markets. Okay, maybe we can do what we've done with our grandfather's business and with somebody else's business. Keep that clientele list alive. Keep this the spirit of what they're doing alive, and buy into it. And then we just find that it's like I'm going to take it or not. Either you give it to me at a reasonable price, which most of the time we find it's not, or we're going to just take it naturally by advertising. But
exactly. If you know how to advertise, you're going to get it anyways. We had that situation come up when a business partner of mine and there was another company that was going out of business, and this is just one of those tales of woe. This guy's 80 some years old. I think he was like 82 at the time, and we made basically a cash offer for his business, and he was $50,000 in debt. Like he owed the his supplier a ludicrous amount of money. And so we're like, there's nothing here, like it's junky machines, old equipment, vans with missing, different colored doors and stuff on them. You don't have a lot of tangible stuff here. So we'll pay off your debt and you'll take home, another 50,000. We basically offered him 100,000 for it.
But
and,
wait a minute. What about all that good inventory in the back room?
Yeah, we're getting to that. So what ended up happening is he told us that we didn't offer enough money and that he was going to make more doing it his way. And what ended up happening is he took it to auction. So I ended up buying about 75-80% of his equipment for pennies on the dollar. I only spent about $5,000 instead of 50, and still ended up getting most of that equipment that was in the back, the stuff that you can't find anymore. And then his building ended up getting condemned. He thought he was going to get about $600,000 for that, and ended up getting condemned. And he ended up getting maybe $200,000. By the time you pay off debt, can you imagine working your entire life and retiring on $150,000, maybe 1 year's salary?
Yeah, they couldn't do it. Well, the last two deals that we tried to make fell through because of the building. They thought they thought the same thing. So that kind of brings us to so you bought into this. You bought into this business. How did you get into ALOA? Was that because the former business owner was in ALOA, or you just were looking for any resource in this in the sink or swim?
It was any resource. The original owner was an ALOA member, and we did get Keynotes magazine, and so I did just kind of flip through there, and I learned a lot through the articles. This was before YouTube University was really a thing too, and that's really what drives me to want to produce so many of the educational platforms that I do, is because I didn't have that. I didn't have that luxury. It took being in business for quite a few years. I think it was 2017. I took over in 2012, and it was 2017 before I could actually afford to go to an official ALOA or SAFTA event, because you got to figure all the cost involved. When you're a single operator, you are not only spending thousands of dollars for classes, flights, and hotels, but you're also missing the income that you would have been making. So there's a $10,000 plus investment to go to one of these events, and not everybody has that. So Being able to get on-demand training gets you the bits and pieces so you can start rat-holing a little bit of money away so that you can come to one of the events. And I think that's an important piece and an important detail that is coming now that was missing from the equation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we find, because was it the last show in Vegas, we sent 8 guys, 8 of our people there. And it's like, that's a huge investment, not only in time lost. Luckily, though, because we're the size that we are, with 16 people, we could still operate some calls, but there was still a loss of business there. But it was one of those things, like we do a lot of in-house training. Ryan and I and Brandon are all certified by the, what is that, Ryan? The U.S. government, the department in apprenticeships.
You have an apprenticeship program.
We have a Department of Labor recognized apprenticeship program.
I had no idea where you're going with that.
That's all good. The Department of Labor registered apprenticeship program that helps us train our guys. But this is still just a microcosm, right? And just like with you learned your specific way, but in the best case scenario, we're learning from everybody else their little tricks and trades, and that's what we like about ALOA. And my grandfather was a founder of the Iowa Locksmith Association and a president, and he was very staunch until the day he died about how that needed to get back to, because what we had gotten to when we started working for him, it was very fractured. Right, in the local industry and then in the industry as a whole, we couldn't let our secrets be somebody else's moneymaker. And my grandfather, he hated that. He hated it. He wanted to see the industry grow as a whole, and whilst being the individual who's like, I don't need to learn any of that new stuff, and right. But he also was like, you are the next generation. You guys have to take this and you have to forward it. You have to see what you can do. And that's why we make sure all of our guys are in it and are taking classes with ALOA or even at Lockmasters or other places.
Yeah, that brings us right into the point of the training for ALOA. We sit around the table, and if you listen to some of our other older podcasts, Wayne, you'll find that that's been one of our biggest bitch sessions, is the fact that we talk about the training and how outdated it is. And then, or you get training on newer automobiles or something else and you go take a test and there's nothing in there that matches what you trained on, unless you want to do a 1939 HUD, or HUD. So, I mean, it's just like we complained about that. I don't know how many times, multiples sitting at this table are CRLs, we took the test. But if we hadn't had the training of the old people, would you pass that test?
Yeah, I don't know how you did it, Wayne. I don't know. I mean, other than studying, I don't know how somebody in the industry coming in without that background would have been able to take those tests and pass it.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to ask you too, Wayne. That you said 2017. That was your first ALOA convention.
I think so. Yeah, it was 2017. I'm pretty sure it was 2017, 2018, somewhere right in there. We went to a SAFTA convention first because I could actually just drive to it because it was in Arizona. It was in New Mexico. It was in Albuquerque, I believe. And then I think the next year we ended up going to the ALOA event. Yeah.
All right, everybody, come check out the next episode where we finish up our conversation with Wayne. Until then, you come down and see us at 1304 West 4th Street or give us a call at 563-322-0123.
Or visit us online at jjlocks.com.
Thanks for listening to Access Granted, a podcast by J&J Access and Security in association with TAG. For more information about J&J Access and Security, visit jjlocks.com.
TAG.